What's up, y'all? What's up? Another Tuesday, the other side of the view. Probably have to say that again, just to make sure we get the recording right. But good afternoon, technically, right?
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to share this.
Oh, Deb's sharing. She's getting ready. She's getting ready for this crazy raw session of the other side of the view. They said that we be yakking that shit, Deb. That's what they said, though. They said you guys be talking about some real stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's good, though, right?
That's what people need to do. Talk more, communicate more. You close a lot of gaps if people talk more.
True statement.
That's what's funny is, okay, so my last relationship, first time I ever dated a white guy.
Okay.
First time he ever dated a black chick. And so he always wanted to, just could never get one.
Okay.
So, but we had a lot of conversations and closed a lot of gaps and, killed a lot of stereotypes. And then, so, it made me realize that, like, the more people communicate, because a lot of people do have these stereotypes because they just don't know.
True.
And so, the more people communicate, though.
Do they not know, though? Do they really
I think
not
some
know?
people really
some people don't know.
Yeah, because he,
sure. So I think some of that shit is like,
Some of the stuff they know.
All black people don't eat chicken.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like
you know what I mean? Like, are all Asian people bad drivers?
One issue we had was the Confederate flag thing.
Okay.
So he had one. What's that?
He had one?
He had one.
Okay.
And so we had a conversation, and to him, he's like, no, Confederate. And I was explaining to him why it's so offensive.
Okay.
And to him, it was like, no, it's just like, because he always considered himself like a rebel.
Okay.
And so, but in the sense of like, he just rebelled against that reason.
Yeah. He's a rebel.
Yeah.
That was the rebel flag.
Yeah. So that's why he embraced it. And so I explained to him, I'm like, dude, they were fighting against slavery. Like, they were rebelling because they wanted to keep slavery. Yeah. And so when he looked at that, he's like, okay, you're right. And so then he saw why I found it offensive, why I didn't really want it in my house. And so, but then I'm the kind of person that we had this conversation before, I can look over things.
Yep.
And so, but then for him though, once he like feels something, he feels it deeply.
Okay.
And so we would go places, and if they would sell it, he's like, you know what? We're not shopping here. And so I'm like, it's not that. Yeah.
Got you.
Like,
because he supported that.
But yeah.
You know what though? Without you sharing, like you said, that other side of it, it's like, why do you consider that? But I think it has to be a conversation. Like, it can't just be a statement.
Yeah, I can't just be. Away. Yeah, I can't say like, fuck that flag and walk away.
Walk away with it.
I have to share the other side, how we view it, and why we're so offended by it, and then help people to understand instead of like being angry about it. So helping him to understand. Then he was like, okay, I get it.
Butthurt, don't we?
Yeah, we do get butthurt a lot.
Dumb butthurt about what we don't like. It's like, oh, I don't like it. And anybody that does it is and then they get into the name call, and it's just like, well, wait a minute.
It's not that serious sometimes.
I don't like mustard on a lot of my sandwiches, but if it's on a hot dog, I'll take it.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not really about to fall out about the mustard with somebody.
Right.
And it's like, but you still put it on a hot dog? Wouldn't that be almost like the person going, you know what? Man, I'm tired of this, man, the way they running this shit, you know what I mean? They got the classes up here, man, motherfucker, way me up here, got motherfuckers down here. And you know what I mean? That's the way they keep us. Now, I'll holler at you, though, man. I'm going to go hard. I got to go to Radisson Inn right now. Housekeeping.
Yeah, you don't...
It's like you can't... I don't believe you can be that, like that, and still work within that, because that was the whole point of the movements back in the 50s and 60s, was to create your own things within America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To where then that wasn't you didn't have to rely. You got to pay the taxes like the next guy, but you don't got to rely on nobody.
Right.
You know, if you got your own and you're doing your own, you don't got to rely on anybody outside of who you already are dealing with.
Yeah.
You chose to not deal with a certain group of people, which, again, I don't believe in it. I believe we all bring like dope things to the table when it comes to ethnicities and cultures.
Right.
We all bring dope shit to the table. But some people don't work well together. So at that point, it doesn't mean that like I hate you or you should hate me. No, you should figure that out over here.
Take a lesson out of it. If it's somebody you don't like, okay, if you have to work with that person, take a lesson out of it and then keep it moving. Like, if you're forced to be somewhere with somebody and work with somebody, then just make the best out of the situation.
That's what I would always say.
Yeah.
That's what I've always done. Even like for myself, for a personal experience where a lot of people probably already know that we got a restaurant out here. You know what I mean? So for me, we had a conversation about why it's on the market now and why we're moving forward and what we're doing. And it's where there was no hard feelings at the end of the day. It was two different sorts of doing things, meaning moving forward, are we going to be able to feed our family? And are we going to be able to grow and prosper off these seeds sown? Or was this just a stop in the road and to do the best we could with and learn and grow and do all these things and then move on? Moving on, continuing, and being constant with movement. So it's just that view of it where I could have took a really, really ill turn. And be like, you know what, fuck this shit. I'm never coming to the country again. It's silly out here and I'm not on it. But that's not what I'm taking. You dug
out all the positives of it.
Thank you.
Took all the lessons and
the negative went out trash.
Turn them into blessings.
Yeah, the negatives went to trash. Said trash this morning.
Yeah.
Went out every Tuesday. Should have sit in the hallway until Tuesday, but then it goes out.
Yeah.
And that's it. So you're right.
I think like I was talking to I have this friend and I was talking to him and he just started working. He's like, the owner came and he's like talking to the employees. I'm like, talk to them. Like have conversations with them and you can learn something from them, even if you feel like you can't. Like if someone is like doing what you want to do and they're like doing like you have a goal, you want to be there, and you see someone on the same race as you going to be there, or somebody that's already there, talk to them and have conversations. That
way, it's game. It's free game.
Yeah, free game. I learned a lot from observing people and like having conversations or just ear hustling.
True statement.
Yeah.
And see, that's where I don't hear. That's the ear hustle where I walk away. That's horrible. I will walk away probably from one of the most interesting conversations.
I will sit and listen if it's interesting.
I'll be like, ooh, I gotta get out of here because it's too interesting. I'll start asking questions, and
I started doing that. I was at like the art museum once, and I'm like sitting there, and it's a woman and her husband talking, and I'm just standing there and I'm listening, and then Dane had walked off at this point because he's just like, okay,
right.
But it's an interesting conversation. But then I got to a point where I'm like, okay, this might be a little weird. So then I kind of chimed in. I'm like, I'm sorry to butt in, but can I learn something too?
Period.
So, and she was very nice, and
but I try not to do it.
People are usually very nice if you do that. If they know they can. Most people, I've run into nice people. If you're polite about it, apologize for butting in on their conversation, then they don't mind sharing a little knowledge with you.
That's what's up. That's what I love to pick people's brains on things.
Yeah.
Today, like I learned something. It was weird. We chatted about it. It was in the classes about classes and how crazy this is when you listen to it. So it's where it was a union-based statement, and I'm neither for or against unions. Like I'm that guy in the middle that I haven't worked for a union. I don't know. My ex-wife worked for a union. I think she still works for a union.
I work for a union.
You work for a union. At the end of the day, he said, well, you know what I mean? It's just, man, I just got to thank the union, man. They took care of me. And it was like, well, wait a minute. Like, you took care of them, though. Like, you paid your dues, right?
Right.
He was like, yeah. I'm like, okay, so they got paid, right? I was like, okay, so did you have trouble? Did you get into any situations where they had to bail you out of anything? And he was like, well, yeah, actually I had. I'm like, for sure, so the statement fits. But thank God, and then thank your back, because that's what you crack every day, as if they had a whip. But what I didn't know is before he was a union employee, he was an employee of the company, not the union. So he had to work his way up and into that.
Okay.
Well, what had happened was I didn't know that union people and regular labor people really aren't supposed to fraternize. They don't help each other. They don't talk to each other. They don't deal with one another. That's just not what they do.
That's crazy.
And I didn't know that two people can work almost next to each other, and you are not to leave that guy alone. Don't talk to that guy. And I understand there's probably policies and procedures and whatever kind of paperwork that they may have processed. Put all them P's out there, make sure they pop. But what's about to really pop is the point, is that that's really a breakdown of communication when it comes to, you got CE, CFO, down to management and from management to supervisor, from supervisor down to a union employee, from union employee to just a regular employee,
yeah.
to where this guy may really want to end up being here one day. Well, who's he going to talk to get there?
Yeah.
Not to mention, they're only within $3 to $10 in differences in pay.
Yeah.
But the way they act, live, and speak about and to one another is so degrading and negative.
That's continuing like keeping a divide, trying to
It's
keep
a
an
division in
unnecessary
classes.
divide. Yeah.
But then you still would want us to purchase a product, you know what I mean, from that class. And it's just like, well, wait a minute. Like, I can't support that class. Why that class is like shitting on class of 98. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why would 98 support that? 98 would be like, no, I'm cool. You can't get 100 out of me. No, I'm cool. No, I'm going to go over here and get the product that is actually more reasonably priced. And I don't know if it's going to hold up like yours or not until I try it. I'm going to get that guy a shot, though.
I am the kind, like, if somebody, I had this experience.
As I'm drinking a Coke.
Yeah.
Are they union?
I don't know. I had this experience, though. I was at an auto parts store. I had to get my brakes done. And so I had to spend over $100 to buy the stuff to get my brakes done. And the woman was so rude. And I understand that nobody likes going to work. I don't like going to work. But I'm like, I'm already upset because I got to spend this money that I don't want to spend.
Period.
So don't come to work if you're going to be, like, if you can't, like,
I believe in that.
fake a smile.
I believe in that.
Call off. Because I'm not happy spending this money at all.
They have like almost no empathy, but then they have the fact, like you said, they work there. Like
yeah.
my dude, or Miss Lady, wherever you work at, I don't care where you work at. If you work there, you work there.
Yeah.
And you
don't
get paid
have
to work there. You don't have to work there. So that's a choice.
Right.
At the end of the day, I didn't come in for all that noise.
Yeah.
No,
I will leave. I left. I left and went way across town to get my stuff. And they were very polite, but I'm like, for me personally, I can't do it. So I will take my money to a whole other state.
Really?
I will.
Okay,
I can't spend my money with somebody that's rude.
Well, like you said, though, it's silly. It's where it's like, oh, well then, you know what I'm saying? I ain't buying your shit. It's like, for sure. Like, I'm going to sit here and protest and argue to give you my money.
Exactly, that's what
we're talking about segregation. With the segregation, it's just like, and it's not to clown it as if it was a joke or to play as though it hadn't happened or it wasn't serious or it still kind of is still a thing. When we're talking classes and segregated, it's obviously divided, so it's division. But the math comes back when you look at the fact of those communities had everything back then before segregation stopped. Killer Mike said it, like, no, the crops were grown, donkeys were moving, horses were going, cows were slayed, butchers were running, shoes were shining, hotels, bars, restaurants, realty. I don't care what you can think of, there wasn't anything that wasn't done in that community because they thrived. You sink or swim.
Right.
You know, and if you went from the oppression of obvious slavery to freedom, you figured it out. Because the other alternative, obviously, back then was jail.
Right.
Because if you couldn't find house, if you couldn't find labor, if you couldn't find, it's not that you even stolen, you just picked up for being a wanderer and thrown in jail.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard like horrible stories. But at the end of the day, it's 2019. So for now, I look at it, it's just like the communities now aren't doing that. They're not doing it. They're like, and it's not, maybe they don't know. We all assume that it's common sense, but it's not. If you've never known anybody to do drywall, and drywall is not common.
I mean, you can find, okay, for me, like, every time I mow my lawn, I'm like, man, if I lived in the city, I could find somebody quick. $5, come on, mow all this.
Done.
Throw them a tip.
Yep.
And anybody would do it. Like, here, it's hard to find somebody like that. But there's options everywhere. Like, you don't have to, I'm personally, because I work hard for my money.
Right.
I'm not going to spend my money with an asshole. Like,
got you, because you work so hard for it.
Yeah, because I work for it. So, I work for mine, you work for it a little bit.
Yeah. And again, I would never sit here and try to...
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I will never sit here and say that, how I put it, man, what did I say, a goofy ass street pharmacist or however they name it, but a hustler, a person that's constantly busting jugs. Man, that's not an easy life. For anybody thinking that that's easy money. Right. It is not easy money.
No, it's not. It's a lot of risk.
There's a lot of stress involved in that. Yeah, there's a lot of risk involved taken in that. You know, you're dealing with your freedom versus dealing with your health and your physical wellness.
Yep.
But the same thing with a JOB, which is just over broke.
Yeah.
That's the acronym I use for JOB.
That's true.
Because it is just over broke.
It's true.
Yeah, I learned it at 18 at Kirby, man. Shout out Rob Twilliger, like Jerry Cortese and those guys at Kirby. They were rough, man. They were animals with us.
Yeah.
Because they taught us how to financially look at life, not just be positive, which was their mantra, to stay positive and be positive about everything. But to look at it in a financial way of closing whatever it is that you want out of a situation. I don't care what it is. So when it came down to like financial, we had looked at things and it's just like, it should either make sense or it doesn't make sense. When people in the city can see flips, when people that are in extracurricular professions, when they can see flips, that's when they'll switch.
Yeah.
That's the consensus so far, anybody I've spoken to with any kind of common sense in their head. If you can replace this income with another income, like and or more.
Okay.
Close and to.
Yeah, I'm not going to downgrade.
I'm not a,
Nobody will downgrade.
I can't. My kids can't. My kid, people, exactly. People with JOBs aren't going to do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to take.
But that is all the job is going to be.
Yeah.
Even I look at the retired people. You know, Social Security ain't looking so healthy. Retirements aren't looking the way they used to. Pensions are almost not anymore for people. But it's where all these things are pointing to, man, you better start figuring out how to work your paper.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, you're dependent on too many other people to work your paper.
Yeah.
So it will put you in a small business sector. It will put you in a service sector. It will put you in a product sector. It should put you a skill sector, a trade sector.
Yeah.
Because everybody's still thirsty for those. Because if 10% of the people are making the money, 90% of the people aren't making any money. But if this 10% holds that much value, then trust and believe there's going to be a lot of products and services out there.
That's true. Yeah.
We're always going to need stuff.
Yeah.
If you can't figure it out. I'm
working on like getting out of having to work a job because I have to work 6 days a week. And I'm like, this shit sucks. I don't want to do this for another. I've been there for 5 years. And I'm like, damn, it's been 5 years? Yeah, another 25 years? 25 years. I don't want to do this for 25 years. So I'm like working on getting myself out of that.
I heard a motivational speaker and a life coach say to never abandon or quit your 9 to 5. But if you have the aspiration and inspiration to do something past that, then you needed to have a 5 to 9.
Okay. Yeah.
So you would work your 9 to 5 until your 5 to 9 was until it flipped.
Yeah.
Until your 5 to 9 turned into your 9 to 5.
Yep. That's where I am.
It was supplemented it. It's where it's like, okay, I was making $3,200 a month with my 9 to 5. I'm making $2,500 a month with my 5 to 9. So once my 5 to 9 shifts and it shifts into 6th gear, and now I'm at $4,000 or $5,000, and I'm past that now. Now I can look at this. I've already supplemented it. If I want to go ahead and take away from this, it's cool. But now I'm making 8 because you're still making this. You know, you have to be prepared to let this go and move on with. Now I only have to do a 5 to 9. I'm gonna have to do stuff from 9 to 5 for this, but I'm not gonna be doing an 8-hour shift for it.
Exactly.
Now me and my kids got time. Now me and my parents got time. Now me and my nephews and my uncles and my aunts and my grandparents. Now I got time to do. Now I got time to do community outreach or help or feed homeless people or rock crying babies. Whatever I feel like. Play puzzles with old ladies like in old ass retirement homes or take walks with old people.
Yeah.
Like this is the stuff that I would do if I didn't have bills to pay.
Yeah.
But he said that you're gonna have to grind. Like there's no way to not have to grind, and you might have to do it for 10, but 10 sounds better than 25.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? A 10-year grind to me and be at 50, at 40 right now, feeling the way I'm feeling. Oh man, I'd give him 10. You know what I mean? I think I'd give him a raw 10 too.
Yeah.
Raw 10 like it was 2 rounds of some heavy shit.
Yep.
And hit hard. But at 50, if I'm able to then shift, move, delegate responsibilities, then at that point, cool.
That's where I was telling my kids, I try to keep them filled in on where we're at. And so I was telling them, like, I'm working on something, and eventually I want to get out of my job.
That's what's up.
And so my oldest, he's 13, he's like, yeah, but, like, you're not going to quit your job, right? When that happens, I'm like, no. I'm not going to quit my job. Yes, yeah. And so I'm like, I'm going to do both.
Right.
And then, when I get solidified here, then I can quit it. But I'm not, you don't quit something until you have something else to replace it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's there.
He's there. He's already got that. That's good though, man, because and again, I gotta keep saying like the day and age. Like we live in a day and age now. It's like you're supposed to hire me just because I fill out the piece of paper.
Right. Yeah.
And then I want this on top of it. Why? Because that's what I need. And it's just like, man, that's just not what I got.
Yeah.
And you gotta go somewhere else.
Yeah.
We have that attitude out here in life so much that, and it falls back to the parents.
Yeah. That's like the one guy we talked to though, and he was like, he owned up to it. Not a lot of people can, but he did own up. And he's like, with his
he kept it official. He kept it official.
That's rare to see that.
Very rare, very rare. He kept it 1,000. That he literally he turned his kid into an entitled person. Yep.
He said he spoiled him growing up.
Yeah.
And then.
What was it? A bondsman's card he had?
Yeah, a pen.
A pen. It was a pen. Yeah. So this is the one I keep just in case. But he said he's straightened up, doing great, doing his thing, and there was the flip side of the story, which was great. Sometimes it's like when you flip that coin, you don't know. Mm-hmm. Like I look at Caleb, and I look at kids in general. It's the coin toss. Like you do your best to. This is what you need to do, and I don't think those things change. I think kids make their own decisions. Like
that's true.
Do as much as you can and say as much as you can and try as hard as you can to get through what this world's about and what it's about to be a good person. Yeah. Like, and wrapped in that, you have God, you have politics, you have everything wrapped up in those few things. Just to be a good person and to treat people good and to live life. But at the same time, they're going to make their choices. Yeah. And I look at that. Yeah. You spill as much into them as possible, and then hope. You can just hope and pray that they will actually take it and use it and apply it. But yeah, as long as you do your job as long as you do your job when they get to be adults, you could just like, it's not my fault. Like if they do fuck up, do something crazy, you're like, I taught you better than that. Like I can honestly say that. Yeah. I guess that's true too. You just don't want to see them do it. You don't want to see them fall through it. That's true. Slip through the cracks. But I look at us like as a kid. It's like, man, we completely didn't listen. Like we chose to do what we chose to do. Yeah. And 1,000%. And the ramifications are real. Yeah, and you gotta. Teach them also though. Like you gotta deal with the consequences of your actions. Because for me, like I know, like every time I did something, I had to deal with it. Like. As an adult, it's my life, my decisions. That's I make those decisions. You got to own up to everything. That's where it's so short anymore, and it's fighting that. Because again, that's the problem in the world a lot today. It's not just classes or people would just say racism. Like racism is so real, but then at the same time, it's so predictable. Yeah. And it's not like a hidden subject anymore. People are like, everybody knows it exists. Like everybody knows it's an issue. So problem is, what's the issue? Like, what's the issue? Period. Right. I have to say, I'm like that now. I got to the point I've gone through what I've gone through, and taking the glasses off, be like, okay, so let me get this straight. You don't vibe with me. Mm-hmm. Period. You don't even like the sight of me. That's how you feel. Cool. That's your final answer. Okay. Done. Right. Glasses back on. I don't see you. I don't see you anymore. Yeah. And then that's it. You're irrelevant. Yeah. I think until you speak A, B, I gotta admit though. See, as I said, I do got a problem with the looks. I got a problem. Yeah, man. I can't. It's almost I can't keep my mouth shut. When people give you looks. When people give me looks, it's when a person continuously stares at you and look at you. You need to look at the camera like this person. Because it's how they do like this. I stare back. Is that what you get? And then the teeth, you know what I mean? And it's like, damn, they suck their teeth at the end of it. And yeah, I caught it yesterday twice actually. And it was where I'll catch it sometimes, and it could be our statements. I've learned it could just be, again, you're tired. Mm-hmm. It could be anything. The thing is I could deal with the glances. I could deal with we caught you twice. Mm-hmm. I catch eye contact with you more than 3 times, and you don't grin, then I want to know what the sin was almost. Like, because you're shooting a shot. You got a bow back at me. For some reason, you're shooting something at me. What's up? Let's speak on that. Again, I go back to that. You don't even got to say nothing. Like, speak on that.
Yeah.
I pulled my kid's grandma aside yesterday. Moved my seat up. Listen, because I don't like to get all ignorant and I don't like to get loud. I got class in life, but listen, we okay? Because that face and all, I was just making sure, you know what I mean? You look like we had a problem, so I just want to make sure we ain't got no issues. You know, I like to make sure, my mom always told me to know where you stand with a person, so I want to make sure that we was all right. So, no, I'm just tired. I worked a lot. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I moved right back on over. I didn't realize it was like, it was so adamant that I had to do it. But it was funny because Crystal was on the other side of the wall. She's like, I was wondering why your voice got real close. I was like, I had to move over there on her because she was looking at me with this certain kind of face. Okay. If you ate a shit sandwich this morning, I get it. Meaning if your face is bent up because your life sucked, then sometimes, okay, sometimes that's great.
Right.
Fine. You're going to end up having to possibly speak on that with me because if I happen to be the face that you looked at with that shit sandwich and you decided the teeth suck, or anything close to it. Oh man, I had a first suck. Oh my Lord. And so we just gotta talk about it. It's gonna be the other side of that view. You're gonna have to understand, because that's not cool. Yeah. Period. Nowhere in life is that okay. Should that be deemed okay? Yeah. Now people can come, hey, look, again, that's just my view. It's just my way I live. It's the way I live. Very respectful person though. I respect people as if they were God himself. Yeah. I was always told him, like, don't play with that. Like, you don't play with a person's respect. You don't play with a person, period. Is that a child? Right. Not just that, is that your child? Right. Why are you playing with that man?
I think for me,
why are you playing with that word like
that? If I'm, usually it'll be like at Walmart or something. Yeah. I walk in, you see people staring. For me, I will stare you, we will have a staring contest. I will stare you down.
I'm saying
stare at me, I will stare you down. I don't say anything. I'm not wasting that much energy, but I will stare you down because
there's too much energy me staring at you. There's too much thought concentration.
For me, sometimes it's entertaining.
See, that's it. Okay.
But because when I had and I miss it so much, I got to do it again. But when I had my nose piercing, like nobody would stare. It's like, at first it's like, it's a black girl, but then it's like it's a black girl with a piercing. Oh my God, because that people just think that's like so painful. So people would look away, like they were scared. I'm like, and that was funny too.
They might actually scare them.
Yeah, but
and I don't ever want to get caught. I guess let me give this other side of this view. I don't ever want to be this person because it's funny. Because again, last 3 years, I think I've actually looked at any of this whole tone skin thing at all, really. Not that I haven't been a part of it, not that it hasn't gone down, not that shit hasn't happened. But as far as on a daily thought process or a daily look and see and view, no, it's like I never really deal like that. But now I look at it, it's like I don't ever want to have a complex either. I don't ever want to be the guy walking into the room feeling like everybody's looking at me, and they're probably not. Because I used to always tell people that, I'd be like, bro, listen, you think everybody's looking at you. Everybody ain't looking at you. You think everybody. You looking at everybody looking at you. Yeah. You looking at everybody. So you got to be looking at them for them to be looking at, for you to know they're looking at you. So who you looking at? Yeah. And why are you looking at them? That's the same question you should be asking. Yeah. Why the fuck are you looking at them then? Well, I just walked in the door and I just started looking around. You just walked in the door then. Motherfucker, they probably looking at you to see who walked in the door. Why? The door opened. Yeah. It's a party and the door opened.
Mine have always been like, that I felt they were legit looking. But
she's like trying to find another way to say it, but I think they were legit looking.
I had that issue with my ex though. Like he would notice it a lot more than me. For me, I was like, I don't give a fuck.
See, that's Krista. Krista notices it more than me. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he would notice it a lot more.
So it does happen more then.
It does happen a lot.
See what I'm saying? So then it was called problem solving. It was called coping skills. I'm catching up for all the years I've been telling everybody, look, nah, it's just you just walked in the door.
Oh, no, yeah, he would notice it a lot. And I'd be like, whatever. But he noticed it from like both races. We were at the mall once, and we're at the food court. Yeah. We're at the food court, and I walk up, and I'm ordering food, and he's sitting at the table with the baby. And then it was two black guys, and then they didn't make a comment to him, but they made a comment, like, why is she with him, or something like that. And so then I finished and I came back to the table and the guys were, I think they said it in passing, the guys were gone. And then he's like, he told me, and I'm like, well, you should have said something to me, because I would have been like, I don't want you to, like, we have a child. Like, I don't fight my battle. It was like, let me be able to say something. Like, you should have told me something. I would have been with you anyway. So why are you mad about who I'm with?
I don't even know you.
Yeah, I don't even know. Why are you mad?
I don't even know you.
Yeah.
I don't even know you.
So it happens a lot more. Like,
really?
It does happen a lot. Like, he noticed it a lot, and then he heard like comments too, but I would just ignore it. So sometimes I just ignore it. I'm like, I don't care. But if I got time, I'm gonna stare you down. I'm not gonna get into a confrontation with you. I'm not gonna fight you.
I'll be pushing my cart.
Down.
Hey, how you doing? Good day.
Yeah.
And I stop. I'll be like, you all right? You good?
Oh, yeah.
Bent up ass face. Looking at somebody like that, you better keep it pushing. And again, I'm liable to say something to you.
I'll stare them back. If they don't say anything to me, I won't say anything. But if they say something, then I'll probably say something.
I'm a very personable person. So for me, I have no problem sparking a conversation in either or. Because again, man, I don't want no smoke. I don't want no problems.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I believe that there are good people, there are bad people. I know myself. I look at myself every day when I brush my teeth in the morning.
Yeah.
And at night when I brush my teeth. At night, I look at myself. I work on myself. I'm like a consistent work on myself. I'm like a little tile here, a little drywall here, a little spackle, a little sand. And he be working on me. You know, with the Lord, he be working on me. So we be working.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, then, I know I'm not perfect. And I know there's going to be things I'm going to do in life. Let them be things that I know I'm doing in life. Then. Yeah. I smoke cigarettes. It's a bad habit. And it's not good for my body. Could be actually being possibly wrong. I'm hurting myself. Not hurting nobody else.
Right.
You got a bent up ass face being all mean and all nasty and all foul and shit. Yeah, baby. I want you.
Yeah.
I want you. I just want to put a couple of these here words on you right quick.
Yeah.
You know, and I might leave you with it, and you should just be happy. Your ass is 10 toes down. You could be face up, not breathing, not even in Walmart, with that ugly ass, mean ass, nasty ass, foul ass face. Yeah. Here you are. See? You should smile about that. You got nice bangs. And I would say something like, I pulled myself in and out of a situation before. I clocked, crashed, burnt all over a motherfucker, all the way. And it'd be like, and just to let you know, your shoes is all right.
Yep, I did that.
I like your shoes.
Her name was Amy, and that was my sister's name. And I was like, I did the whole thing, and usually I don't.
The whole thing,
like,
right?
I usually don't use the words. I'll usually like walk away or something. But I use the words, and then I'm like, "What's your name?" And it was at the auto parts store, and then she's like, "My name's Amy." I was like, "Well, beautiful name." And then, but I was so angry, right. But I had to like.
Nope, I always leave it on
something positive.
I leave it on a high note. I try to leave it on a high note. Anything I'm doing, man, I try to leave it on that high note. I'll even just flat out with a God bless.
Yeah.
Right after I just, man,
right, and still angry inside, but then it helps you to calm down once you walk away.
That was the catch, because I've never been the person to stay upset on. It's always been like a 3 to 10 second something. Yeah. And then I'm past it, and that's when I see my error. Yeah. I see my error like second 11, 12, and 13. It's just like, shouldn't do this.
Yep.
And it's just like, I know.
Yep.
It's like you thought before you even did it that you ain't want to do it. It's like, I know.
Yeah.
It's like, so why you do it? I wanted to.
If you leave on a high note, though, you're like, but I did that thing.
But I wanted to let them know that you still love them. You know what I mean? Yeah. God bless. And again, I hope it helps. At the end of the day, if I was a really, really mean and nasty person, and I was doing this, and I've become I've become this nasty person, all right? So it's taking time to become this stale-ass, mean-ass, nasty, foul person. It takes time for things to become stale, foul, nasty, rotten, spoiled. All these things take time. So you've become this vessel of nothing of that.
Yeah.
Or all of that, excuse me. You become this vessel of that.
Yeah.
That's gotta suck. It's gotta suck. Mm-hmm. So I don't ever want to be that person.
Right.
God forbid I ever became that person. I would hope that somebody was raw enough with words to snap me out of the reality of what I am by telling me I was a nasty old cuss. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just a negative, nasty, foul, you make noises. You know what I mean? Just, I would snap out of it. I think I would snap out. Like when a person tells me, Michael, your temperament, you get too hot too quick. And people tell me, they've been telling me that my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now it's just no hands, no gun, no knife. Now if there's no weapon.
Right.
Now it's just, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Hey man, it's all I got. You know, they said the word is a sword, and again, live by it, die by it. So I attempt not to speak ever horrible things on people or negative or be negative, but at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. So I work on it.
That'll sit with somebody longer sometimes.
Words?
Yeah. Sometimes that'll sit with somebody a lot longer.
I would.
If it makes them think, because a lot of people like try to hide from themselves and don't want to fix things that God's going to speak to us. However, if there's something we need to work on, then He's going to speak to us through whoever. So a person can come along and tell you some shit about yourself and that you were trying to run from, and God's like, nope, here you go. And however they put it, it's going to sit with you, especially if it's something you really needed to work on. It's going to sit with you for a long time. So a lot of people do get hurt a lot more by words because it's something that they needed to hear, or
I think they needed it.
Yeah.
And like you said, I think it does come through. Anybody, whoever, it's like if He's able to use them to do that.
Yeah.
And I think they gotta have some willingness to it.
Yeah.
But if He's willing, you know what I mean? Obviously, if they're willing to learn and they've learned that, and that's something they choose to share with you, that's a blessing. Yeah, man. Before this closed out, man. Deb brought up something earlier. So, you know, there's a lot of like current things.
With this.
You do have an issue with this. We're bringing up this whole Jay-Z. It's something I really don't know a lot about, Deb. If you can help fill me in while I'm reading.
I know.
Because I like to deal with the facts.
Yeah.
And this is actually a man
I
dig the dude's music. I've been digging this dude's music for
I like some of his music.
Years.
I'm just not a huge fan of him. Like, I do like some of his music. I grew up to Jay-Z, but I'm just not a huge fan of him because I think he's just like, I don't know. I don't have any negative thoughts about him. I just don't vibe with him.
Gotcha.
Like, with his
so what did he do?
So he like signed a deal with the NFL.
Okay.
And so for me, I'm like, didn't Beyonce just boycott the NFL?
That just happened the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Years ago, right?
Yeah. And so then I'm like, so now we're doing a deal with the NFL? What? Go ahead.
No, I have nothing yet.
My whole thing with it is like, apparently now he's like, they're the spokesman family for black people. And because like the whole, like, everybody was boycotting the NFL because of Colin Kaepernick.
I saw his name in there,
And so like now, because Jay-Z said it's Colin Kaepernick.
Okay, gotcha.
Now because Jay-Z says, hey, it's okay, we can go back to the NFL, everybody's like, okay, go back to the NFL.
And he was already a sports agent.
Who was that?
Jay-Z.
Was he?
Just an FYI.
See, I didn't know that.
It wasn't, I don't know, and again, I don't know what he did. So.
He doesn't do sports though, he's a rapper.
He's a sport,
I mean, he owned a team or something like the Nets or something like that. No,
he's a manager or whatever. Yeah, he got in. What are they?
Is he?
What are they called? Jerry Maguire.
Like an agent.
Agent.
Mm-hmm.
He's an agent.
I don't. Because I feel like that's a whole thing about like the going to the restaurant and fighting to give them your money. For me, it's like, I think we rely too much on fighting for a seat at somebody else's table. If they don't like you, stop asking for a seat at their table. Make a whole other fucking table.
I believe in that. I believe in that 1,000%. I can't think of how many events.
I saw an interview, or like Master P, like he was talking about like he has like a basketball league, but he's talking about maybe we should have a football league.
Yeah.
Make a whole new league, because most of the players are unliked people of color.
They definitely, when it comes to sports, most sports, I mean basketball, football, baseball, I mean I think a lot of people of color. Yeah. That's the choice word now, politically correct.
But
with 14 minutes left before we...
I say color because it's like not just black people.
Period. And I felt you 1,000%, but then I know that POC, person of color. For me, I can't stand like the whole all of the color. And be like, oh my god.
Well,
because like, we can get past that.
Well, it's the NFL. They don't. Why is Colin Kaepernick did the whole thing for a reason, and then they
Jay-Z's doing that. Gotcha. He's saying now, that's where, not to cut you off. I just saw that he made we've moved past kneeling was a statement in return, and that this is a huge form to address injustice in general. Meaning, with his platform, it sounds like, you know, maybe it's something that now that people, okay, we took the knee. Everybody saw people take a knee, and that worked out.
It didn't.
Okay, so it didn't work out.
He's just saying it did.
I don't know. I said it did or it didn't. I mean, nobody's not shooting anybody. Stuff isn't stopping. People aren't not racist. No. So that didn't stop anything. You know, I don't know whether to clap or nothing. Again, I don't know enough about it to support it or not.
Yeah.
Me personally, again, if you're playing something and this is part of it, and it's in a rule book, and this is where you work, you're at work.
Yeah.
You're at work. You're at work.
Oh,
you're at work. You're at work. Your personal views in life don't cross over at work. They can't, or you can't work there. Like if you had personal views, it could stop in conflict for you working where you work. We're gonna say, but still, it would. Yeah. For me, it did here. I have personal views.
Yeah.
Is why I stopped working in my own establishment to keep it positive.
Yeah.
To keep the establishment from being tainted by my views. I left and decided to go find income somewhere else.
Right.
Because it didn't need to be tainted with my view.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's why I say the whole like.
I'm not saying Colin was wrong. I'm not saying I don't know.
Well, no, that's why I say like I get that because I do have to live within. You know, yeah. I have to keep my mouth shut a lot.
Yes.
With people that like.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
So for me, it's like. Work at building your own fucking table. Stop begging for a plate at somebody's table who doesn't like you.
If they don't like you, again, yeah, I'm not trying to have you cut my food. I don't want you to serve me my food.
I don't want to sit with you. You're gonna spit in that shit.
Thank you.
Like you're gonna take my money and spit in my food.
And spit in my food. Yes. Yeah. So you're 1,000% right. So, and I think that's what he's saying, and not completely what you said, which. Actually, no. So that's not what he's saying. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's fine.
What you said
we're supposed to get the other side
that's
of
true, and I love it though. That's what I'm saying. That's what this is about because again, I'm able to learn too, in the sense of the perception of how someone else views it. Because when it came to Kaepernick, I just knew he took a kneel. For me, when I talk to people about it, like, would you take the kneel? I'm like, what? To kneel against injustice? I'm at work. Like when I leave work, I could do it. Like when I'm at work, no, man. Like when I'm at work, it's not that my views change, but I'm here to do this, and you're paying me to do this. Now, if I got a problem with you completely, guess what? I just quit, and you can keep your money. Like you said, I don't want to be a part of this shit at all.
Well, I'll
go teach kids football.
I think they should have gone with, like, if it was something where I think they just want those dollars back. Using Jay-Z because he's like he get a lot of people to follow him. If they were serious about it, Colin Kaepernick would have a job again and say, okay, you guys can do whatever you want. He's still not. And then they would have chosen Colin Kaepernick over Jay-Z because who the fuck is Jay-Z? He's a rapper. I mean, I think he might be an agent, but he's not. He doesn't have to deal with this.
His platform, so he had to deal with it.
Kaepernick has a platform.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has a platform, but he doesn't have Sean Carter's platform.
Like
he doesn't have Sean Carter's money. There's a big difference with that. Like you're talking about Kaepernick's how old, Jay-Z's how old. So you have the ties. You got Warren Buffett, and that's what I'm saying. You got a lot of people.
No, but listen to that though. His platform,
they're different.
No, what I'm saying, like because Jay-Z has a larger fan base, they went for Jay-Z because they're like, okay, we're gonna use this. I'm not gonna say what I want to say. We're not gonna use this. We're gonna use this guy.
That guy too.
We're gonna use this guy because he's gonna get the most people to follow him.
Period.
And then.
So it's a marketing ploy.
It's a marketing ploy.
So you think
he's gonna get the most people to follow him? What's that?
So you think Jay just went with the marketing ploy?
I don't think he even knows that he's being used. I mean, he might because he's all about money.
Not to be very, very spiritually awake guy though. At the same time, so
I don't think he's very spiritually awake.
No.
Jay-Z, no.
I think you gotta listen to some of his music, maybe.
I can't.
When I feel that, but when you got the people that have come out after of him, when you speak on J. Cole's, when you speak on Kanye's,
I don't think Kanye is.
Really?
No, I think J. Cole. I think Nas for sure.
Nas very sure.
Cole, Nas.
Rest in peace, Nipsey for sure.
And Nipsey for sure.
Yeah. Very spiritually awake dude. Like,
yeah.
I think that you'd have to pick apart, and I think that's the thing with music and views. It's where, man, maybe the next episode we'll do that.
Okay.
We'll pick apart. Oh, and I didn't realize I kind of like almost slid out of the view of the camera. I'm sorry. No, we'll pick apart some bars. Because again, you know, cool. I am a lyricist, so I get into words and I get into the play of words. So very, very awake. Now, very awake dude. I really think, and I would hope, in the sense, I would say it's not even a defense, obviously, but you would know you were getting used at that sort of a platform.
I think maybe if he does know he's getting used, he's like, if I'm gonna get used, I'm gonna make some money out of it.
Period.
Yeah.
But isn't that, at the end of the day, unfortunately, kind of?
I think that's wrong.
It is wrong.
Because you're taking a whole trail of people that's gonna follow you, and you're making money. You're doing it to make money, but you're leading people to this fucking shit pit. So that didn't make any sense.
No, that actually made a lot of sense. The shit pit. You just came up with something else, man. Like, where's my pen at? Like, where's my pen? I think I got a pen in my pocket. I do. I had to have.
You like that.
I'm just gonna put it at the top of something so that I make sure I don't lose it. And I'm gonna put Deb next to it. I put Deb and then shit pit. I had to. It's a quote now. That sounds horrible. I have to now that I underline an asterisk, like I'm gonna have to explain it to my wife now. She's like,
why is Deb a shit pit?
That shit pit. What are you talking about? But for people actually that want to view this, I didn't mean to tell you even too, like Other Side of the View at www.theothersideofview.com. So we got us up on that, women. We got at thebloggerspot.com. So it's the other side of the view at bloggerspot.com as well. And it is up on Libsyn. Libsyn. The link will be at the end of it.
This is the brains behind everything.
No, that helps. A lot of research. Research and conversations. Because again, it's all about displaying it and putting it to where people can actually see it and maybe become a part of that conversation and maybe they'll take something from it. Again, shoot to own your own things. Fight to be at the table that you really want to be at and that you're accepted at. Yep. Don't change you to sit or to be in the walk or to lay next to anybody. You know, compromise would be better. A word versus than to change yourself to be with or around anybody. I think would be the classes.
Yeah, so I mean, you gotta deal with it until you get to a point where you don't have to deal with it. Like, don't think that you gotta, like, I'm here, I gotta do this shit for the rest of my life. You don't. So, like, if you work a job and you fucking hate it, find a way out and then work that job as a means to get the fuck out.
Period.
You don't have to sit at nobody's table.
Yeah, do your 9 to 5 and work your 5 to 9. I think those are like super. I wish I'll bring his card next week. And it will be every Tuesday at 1:15. We're realizing is a time that kind of works for everybody. But I think we got 5 minutes.
Okay.
But do we just continue for the next? I think you almost have to.
What?
Don't you?
Carry out the 5 minutes?
Do you have to carry out the 5 minutes?
Probably not, because our conversations, we're going to go past 5 minutes.
I don't think we can talk about anything for 5 minutes. It's like 55 minutes. It's like 35 minutes.
Yeah.
But no, Bloggerspot, bloggerspot.com, The Other Side of the View. Facebook, The Other Side of the View. And then there is theothersideoftheview.com. That's a www. Make sure I say that. And the YouTube, true as well. YouTube, The Other Side of the View. And I have to fix that. Because right now, if you want to see it on YouTube, this episode will be uploaded in a few days. The last episode's already uploaded.
Okay.
You'll have to type The Other Side of the View and then hit Michael Brown after it. Okay. I don't know why my name's on it. On that sense, my page. It's got my name instead of The Other Side of the View name. So you've got to put both. So we'll try to fix that. Again, I'm not the complete 100 tech savvy guy, but I know people. I got friends in low places. But We're going to cut out. You guys have a good week. God bless, one love.
This is fun.
It was always fun. Yeah. It's always fun. That's what we do. Hopefully people picked up some good game.
I hope so. I listened up a little bit more in this one, I think. I'll have to watch it back.
Yes, you did. That's what's up. Because now the live, I can cut the live and I can cut the live.
Oh, did you cut? Okay.
And that's the thing. What's the proper way to walk when you're in a tight spot like that?
Oh.
Is it pelvic away from, or is it butt at a person?
I do butt at.
I do butt at.
Yeah.
When I went in, I went face forward. And I was like but I still was back, so it was like this.
Yeah.
You try to keep your pelvic away from the person, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think
it's
you
crazy.
protect that a little bit more.
I don't know. I'm a guy. Guys be trying to protect that rib. Be like, I don't
Oh.
want to be backing my butt into nobody.
Oh, well, I think for females it's butt at. Maybe for guys it's pelvis. You know.
Yeah, because you guys got chest. Because you guys try to like
We
not
gotta
rub
protect
it.
all of it.
You guys got to just be running around in a ball. Crazy.